Okay, I have spotted a couple of camels. At the moment, they're a couple hundred metres out, and they're just sort of staring at the vehicle. So I'm just gonna get myself half ready and go sort them out. Yep. How many we got? And I can see 3. There could be more. Okay, so if you've just watched the video where I've put up Catherine Tower, this is the continuation, or the day after. The day after, but it's the next little video after what I just recorded. So this morning I am heading down to Camel Bore to change out the little NanoBeam for a PowerBeam. It's just been a pain in the ass. Last time I was down there, I didn't put a relay in for its controller, and it's just been not fun. While I'm down there, I'm going to swing past Lyle Brown, have a look at what's going on there. The dipstick appears to be down, but the trough hasn't leaked or anything, and who knows. So I've got some gear here that if I need to pull the pump, I can. I have also got some stuff to mess around with 2-up where I was the other day, and if I've got the time I can pop around to Warren's. I've also got the battery here to drop in at Rock and Roll. So really it's a lot of niggly bits, but hopefully because I'm on all the good tracks it's not going to take me that long. Now last night as I was coming back from Catherine, Jasmine sent through to our Water Point report chat that there was actually a pretty good mob of camels down at Sweetwater. But I was half an hour away from home, and so that would have meant that by the time I got down there it would have been an hour and a half and dark, and really I'd had a long day, so was kind of keen to pull up and relax. But I am ready today in case I do encounter them. And this time I've got the esky there, so if I get anything, I can throw it in and we can make use of the meat. Right, well I'm going to enjoy my bumps. And it's ironic to think about that because I'm actually on that flight path, circuit path for our main airstrip. Yeah, I'm going to roll on and see what we've got, get some stuff knocked over and be ready for the weekend. Right, small change of plans. I've got bloody horses. So we'll see if we can see what's going on. Audio is going now. I'm upwind of the horses, which is really, really challenging. They seem to have stopped. So let's see how we go. Trying to stay in the blind line. I'll be curious. Now people always go, oh, why headshots? Why not heart shots? Why heart shots? Not headshots? What about the vertebrae shot? Because that's commonly accepted. Disables them. Then you get the follow-up. but we'll see what we get here. Ah, fuck it. Making it quick, buddy. Ah, for fuck's sake. There we go. Oh, you're a fucking stallion, mate. Where's your fucking wife? Brumby down. Let's go make sure this other one's full dead. Right. Well, it's a fucking change of plans. Mag out. Right, so that's a little bit different. We had virtually eradicated horses on this station. Over the number of years, we've taken a few over 4,500 out. Now, these ones are coming in from the west. They're not managed over there. So, yeah, it's kind of important for us to get onto them. The water point that's a little way away from here, we have had mobs of around 40 or 50 horses on it before, and yeah, they took a fair bit to sort out. But horses will learn to go into traps. Unfortunately, a stallion like that, they will get in there, they'll bash everyone around. You know, you use stallions in yards to be the boss. Very curious though that he's with the foal. Yeah, wonder where the mare is. And the rest of them are. Yeah, let's have half a look at him while we're at it. Shot placement, yep. People are going to say, oh, you know, what's the challenge in that? Rah, rah, rah. Well, I've shot a lot of horses. It is not often that they are that receptive. That means that they have not been anywhere near people, full bush animals who are just curious. And when I first saw them, they bolted. But yeah, let's have a look at this fella. All right, and of course I'm gonna get a couple of Karens and a few Janets going, oh, you know, save the Brumbies and all that. Nah, I'm sorry. No one wants these. They're not worth anything. They're better off just popping and rotting. If we can use them for pet meat, sure, but that's not an option right now. All right, here's the big fella. For all you horsey people, see how we're looking back there. All right. You can see they've got these very, very fine teeth. This grass here, they will eat it down to dirt. That's why they're bad on this country. These nasty buggers, these hooves, well, they are pretty hard and they pack in really well. You'll see them from a long way away because they're dust. And he's got scars from fighting. Right, well that's made my day a little more interesting. So you could be wondering, why are you so hard against the horses, and why did you go so hard and fast on them there? And the simple answer for that is, this site here is a rehab site. It's an area where I have contoured it to catch more water and get it into the ground. And basically I just don't want them wrecking it. Yeah, gotta try and get this stuff sorted out. So yeah, that's why I went so hard on those horses. They are a pest animal here. They are horribly destructive on the land. So we also are legally obliged to get them, and no suppressors, no semi-automatics. That's just about all those questions I get asked every time. Right, the first stop after the horses, of course, is here at Rock and Roll to put the 100 amp hour lithium battery in here that I was talking about the other day. So that'll change it from being effectively just a daylight hours operation to being 24 hours. Right, where can I put you? Move, move, move. Somewhere over here will work. It's nothing really interesting. Just me opening a box on a lithium battery. Now, these Gentrax batteries, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before. They are 100 amp hour, 12 volt. Well, we'll have a look and see if it's like a 12.2 or a 12.4. What exactly you are. But they are ridiculously affordable for this job. So the price of lithium batteries is coming down significantly, and it's actually the lower capacity ones that are kind of more expensive. Oh no, gotta go get that. Alright, put that rubbish back in there. Rest this out. So what exactly are you? You are a 12.8 volt. So these Gentrax batteries at $250 each, I can't really go wrong with them. Even if they're not truly 100 amp hour, they're cheaper than the next thing. Right, so Rock and Roll could be called roughly, but we're in, we're plugged in. I haven't screwed that onto the wall or anything, but that'll be a tidy up job at some stage later on, if I get home, or I'm on my way home at a decent time, because my main motivation here was to get this big battery in and on the solar charging, topping up while it can. So Rock and Roll done. Let's go far east and work our way back in from there. Okay, I have spotted a couple of Camels. At the moment, they're a couple of meters out, and they're just sort of staring at the vehicle. So I'm just gonna get myself half ready and go sort them out. Yep. How many we got? And I can see 3. There could be more. All right, audio recording is on. And the recording is on the Pard, which is a DS3570. Yeah, with a laser rangefinder, but I tend to not use laser rangefinder during the daytime stuff, it just slows me down. This ute is the ultimate stealth machine with its missing exhaust. What do we have? Four camels? 5. So let's just roll to a stop. No, more than 5 because there's a mob under the bottom of the tree there. Let you guys have a second to sort of think about what's going on. All right. The one who's walking away is going to be first. Safe is on. Okay, where'd you go? giant hump on that fella. Oh, they're going to slow down in a second. Ladder. Mag. You be a good ladder. You're just absorbing him because he's so f***ing fat. Got sandalwood. Right, let's see if I can see where he's fallen down. There you are. Ah, low. Yeah, you're about to sit down. Oh, mama cow. Went a little bit high on those spines, but you're out for the count, cow. Oh, gosh, look at that. All right, that's the mob down. We'll swing back to the start. Right, so I'm only going to be taking the meat off the back strap on this camel because that's as much as I really have time for. I don't really take the legs or shoulders for anything other than doing sausages. So this is a cow. She's in very good condition. Now, she's died in somewhat of a traditional manner, so she's upright, which means we should be able to peel off the entire back strap and the whole hump. So we're going to start by opening up just behind the shoulder here. Okay, now we are back into it. Going to start just behind the shoulder here and take a nice slice down, and we'll run across over the top here. Gets a bit tough on that, and we're going to sort of extend all of our cuts so we can get more of the hump off. Right, now that's the Gerber switchable blade. I'm going to just grab, for the sake of it, the pig sticker and see how sharp that is. I use this to bleed it, so let's see if it's as much of a utility knife as we can use it for, in case I just had only this. I think I'm going to go back to just using a normal knife, just for this. All right, nice thick skin there, cruising along the ribs. And we'll pull up just shy of back here. You've got where the spine sort of comes into contact, so you've got no fat coverage. Right, skin's clear. You have overheated there, so got your back in there. So let's get this hump all the way off. I'm sort of just erring on the side of leaving the fat on there, because I kind of want to leave it on there to protect it from the dust. Quite a bit of weight in that big old thing. Humpless camel, and that's almost I'm gonna say close to 30 odd kilos of fat there, and in some countries that's the delicacy. Whew. All right. So I've taken the majority of the fat off. I'm going to trim some of this hump off and then just get into the back strap there. All right, so I've fleeced that fat down, so I should be able to just roll that off. Now the part that we're going for is just inside that, so let's we can leave that on there, that'll be fine. Get our blade, run it hard up against the spine there, all the way up to the front. We are happy. Just before the hip here. Get through that big old tendon. And it sort of just sits above the rib cage. If she wasn't so tender, this would be going easier. You know, if she was tougher, it would just, the meat is just falling apart. Right, so that's one back strap out of her, and you can see I've done a pretty gnarly job, but there's our fat. So let's toss that into our esky. Keep the flies off it, and I'll quickly work on the other side. And the big knife is doing an incredible job on this. Not good on the skin, like great for doing the throats. I don't know if I was doing something wrong when I was making entry onto this thing, but that back strap is very quick. Probably because I have this knife sharper. Right, number two, a lot quicker, a lot less messing around. Sweet, so that's a couple of back straps down off her, good few kilos. Not much else I'm going to take off her now because I don't have the time. So yeah, we'll use the meat. Let's deglove and make love. No, get back onto work and onto the road and fix up my water points. That's what I'm here to do. Right, so wasn't 100% expecting to come across the camels down here, it's one of those things to make sure that you are ready. And yeah, had my mag loaded up. I've just been working through just emptying some of my mags from earlier work. So it was a little bit annoying having that day scope, night scope part trip open every couple of shots, and it really went out of focus there when it gets too much light. So I might have to look at putting a little bit of tape on it just to stop that from happening on me. The disappointing thing with it going out of focus is it being a little bit harder to see and to be able to take good shots. Now, they were pretty static for a while, but then it's also making sure I've got the camera gear out, so one, you can see the job that we're doing. That takes a little bit of time, but also we film it to make sure that we are documenting the kills. And if we ever get challenged again on we don't believe that there's that many camels, or the camels, that you're shooting that many, that we can go, well, here it is, we've got it. And it's that frustration level that led me to filming all of it, or as much as I can, and letting people know that it is something that we deal with. So a little bit of the challenge on today was the amount of wind. It's not for windage on a throwaway. It's not at these ranges, but it's more the animals' movement. Now it's quite warm. I think it's just ticked over 41 degrees Celsius, and yeah, they got moving. They were in extremely good condition as well, so they are on the fly and in good nick. So I have grabbed some meat off one of them, and we'll be doing a video on that. We'll be doing probably a live cooking with camel video, and I'll see if I can whip up some biltong out of it, because I do like camel, it tastes good. And yeah, this is during a normal work day where I've got a whole lot of other things I've got to do, and then I've got to pull up and whack some camels and carry on with my day. So thanks for joining me on the camel shoot. Love your criticisms, it's always good, all these different opinions. Yeah, and I do try to answer as much of the sensible questions, because there are some special people out there. But I'm pulling up to the job I've got to do. Right, so welcome back on to the non-shooting part of this video. I must have left you somewhere back at rock and roll. So we are all the way out east here at Camel Bore. Right, so I know a couple of things I've got to do here. One is put the relay in here, and two, I'm going to change the NanoBeam up the top there to a PowerBeam, just so it's a little more stable. Hello, spider. You're hiding back there. Right, so she's charging and she's just running the load, so yeah, that's our problem. Right, so because this whole temperature thing has been fun, I'm just going to whack the relay in, show you when we're done, and this should be all happy days. Right, so we'll jump into the box in a second, but I've put a relay in there, and this time I've just used a normal automotive relay because I've run out of the big fancy ones. So I'm going to pick some more of those up so we can keep knocking relays out here, there and everywhere. But what we are here today doing is switching from the NanoBeam, which is this tiny little dish here, which is very good for short ranges and little close, like ones we use them around the homestead, and for ones where we are really close to the tower. So here we're actually not that far, but those ones are more susceptible to issues with alignment, and they're a little more difficult. This is a PowerBeam, and so it's a big parabolic dish which is composed of, you know, multiple parts. So they are only very slightly more expensive. This one was a second-hand one that I got, but you can see that there is a bit of a difference in the two units. So I'm going to whip up the top there, plug this in, and yeah, then I'll talk you through the bottom here, but it's pretty much normal now for just to be putting a relay into them. One of the major advantages of the PowerBeams is the strong mounting solution they've got rather than using a hose clamp, but you've also got your exact angle here. So for your alignment, up, down, tilt, you can fine tune it. Or like now, I know what angle I need to be in elevation. You can just lock it off where you want it before you get up there and whack them in, which means it's less time up the pole. But yeah, I am always wearing a harness when I am out here by myself climbing tall things. So I try to be safe. Alrighty, looking pretty good. Right, so it is nice and warm. The PowerBeam up there, so that sucker got onto the network, just bang, beautiful, incredible signal. It's stupid. Probably have better internet connection here than most cities in Australia, because our internet's pretty terrible, and that's why Starlink is cool. Right, but it's also worth noting that like part of the inspiration for this network and where we started with it all and keeping it on station was because of the NBN. So we could have, and this was before Starlink, so we could have internet access out at these points and be able to send a message, but also it was it's a terrestrial network. It's on the station, and all of our data is, where we know where it is, and we've got it physically. So if the internet dies, you can still look at our cameras. So if they become a target, those satellites, and Starlink goes down, well, we roll over to the NBN, but it also has, the station will keep reporting. So in here, it's not exactly as tidy as I was aiming for, but this load control will activate the relay. So when this is low voltage, relay will trip and go off and then on naturally when she's got power. And you've got the two converters, da-di-da-di-da, and up the pole. Magic happens. So Camel is now all good. Time to go tackle the other fellas. Right, so got two Wi-Fi things to sort of have another look at, but I'm pulling up stumps for today. I've had those last couple of days where I've gone quite long and hard, and so given the amount of action today and everything, and I've physically checked the one I didn't have comms on, and it's all good. So it can rest until a cooler morning. So I've got the gear loaded up, or I'll get the gear ready, so that tomorrow morning I can just leave early and pretty much be happy with it. So thank you very much for joining me on this little bit of work, and the links to those other videos are around, but you probably might have seen them or have no interest in watching the not great shooting I did today. But at least I got some meat, and that's the other part of pushing home early, is to get that meat into the cooler. So that's the day. It's Friday. You could always call it a poet's day. So we'll crack on, and I will see you when I do the next job. Cheers, everyone.